Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. We chatted a bit about hockey, we chatted with Caleb and Murray, and now we're joined by two lovely ladies. Hello Barbara, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Elizabeth, you well?
Very well. Great to be here.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming to the end of your preparation of this small little event, Elizabeth, that you're having. Tell me about the small little event. Let's start there.
Oh, well, it's the gym games, and Cape Town's going to be invaded by the gymnasts.
How many?
2,570 gymnasts.
Sure.
That's not the officials, without the officials, coaches and the judges. So we're going to be close to over 3,000 families coming into Cape Town.
Over what period?
From the 6th to the 12th at the Velodrome and the Good Hope Centre, so for a full week.
Nice. Barbara, what's your involvement in all of this event, in this small event? Let's start there. We'll come to all the other stuff that you do. let's keep it strictly to this event for now.
Well, I'll be putting the opening ceremony together, and we're going to be using our participants from our legacy program, about 100 of them, and they're from the various communities in Cape Town.
So give us a little snippet of what the opening ceremony will be like.
Well, we want to focus and highlight all the different disciplines.
How many disciplines are there?
Well, in our games, we'll be having 5.
Which are?
It's the artistic men and women, it's the rhythmic, it's rope skipping, tumbling and trampolining. I missed out anything? Acrobatics, wow. Yes, and then of course, mine is Gym for All.
What is Gym for All? Tell us a bit about Gym for All.
Gym for All is basically covers all the disciplines, and it's mass. We do it on mass.
Okay.
The recreation side
okay.
of gymnastics. Mm.
Elizabeth, how long has the preparation and build up to this event taken?
Well, it's actually for the clubs and that, it's the entire year. This is where they start at the beginning of the year with their elements and work through with their sequences, putting their sequences together. Then they have inter-club competitions, many invitationals. Then they have districts and then provincial, and all the time eliminating and then finally building up to the nationals. So all these gymnasts arriving here, I mean, when I was saying 2,570, you can times that by at least 4 to, you know, when you get back right to the beginning stages of this whole massive build-up to the finale.
But I mean, other than just the participants, like you mentioned, all the other supporters and the officials, it's huge numbers. We're talking maybe 1,500 to 5,000 people in a general sense.
Yes, well, if you take all the grannies and the daddies and uncles and aunts and everybody, they're all coming down. So a wonderful opportunity for the Western Cape now. And, you know, after hosting last year the Gym for Life, the World Gym for Life Challenge, now hosting this the National Gym Games, and next year they have bid and been given the artistic national competition in June next year. So we're building up a great relationship with the city and with DCAS, and this is ongoing. So it's very good to see a structured program being developed. And now with the legacy program coming in and working with the mod centers, with the schools, and you know, it's just expanding. The whole base is being broadened, which is really great for gymnastics. The broader the base, the better the top.
Absolutely. So who are the other partners involved in this event? You mentioned City, you mentioned Department of Culture Affairs and Sport. Are those the two main sponsors, really?
Yes, and we've also got Cattle Baron and Durban Hill Wines, of course. You know, we got a function before.
You got to have the wine to go with it.
Yes, and wine of the month. You know, we got to have some. If they come to Cape Town, they got to enjoy the wine. You know, we have to show this Gauteng is what it's really like. You know, the good part of being in Cape Town. So everybody looks forward to it. You know, is looking forward to coming here.
The event starts on the 6th?
Well, yes, on Monday, the 6th. So we're starting off at the Velodrome, and we're going to be starting there with trampoline and tumbling and rope skipping. And then on Wednesday the Velodrome's not big enough for us, so we're moving into the Good Hope Centre with the rhythmic gymnastics. And then we'll have the artistic men and women, and then the acro. So, and it's just every, you know, they're moving on. And so when you walk into the Velodrome on Wednesday, you're just going to see these, all these different disciplines carrying on. It's going to be really, it's special. And what's very good is that this is one of the few times where you get all the disciplines together. So the highlight, of course, is going to be that we're going to have some Commonwealth Games participants. It's also the trials for various of the disciplines, internationals coming up, our Zone 6 competition in December. So a massive activity happening, you know, the whole week.
Okay, then Barbara, how does one, is entry free? Does people need to pay?
Well, the opening ceremony is free. It's free for everybody. And then during the week with the competitions, it's 20 Rand per person to come and have a look. But it's great because you won't be only seeing one discipline, as Elizabeth mentioned, but different disciplines, which is nice.
Is it a whole day thing? Is it evening only? How does it work? What's the timing schedules?
It starts from the morning and it goes right up till 6. I think we have different times. They just need to have a look at the website, everything will be.
What's the website address, ladies?
www.gymnastics.org.za.
Yes.
So, but basically, it will start from 8 o'clock and go until 8 o'clock in the evening, and maybe finishing off slightly earlier on certain days. But
that's a general time
yes.
frame.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we know what's the culmination of the national event, let's take it a bit lower down. Barbara, tell us a bit about what's happening at community level.
Okay, at the moment we have a program where we train coaches. They're in the different districts within the city of Cape Town. We have different community centres and they form different clubs, and some of these clubs are entering competitions. And those who do not enter competitions do have a recreational program. They have displays and they'll be part of the opening ceremony. We had our zonal gymnastrada in March, so some of those groups will be participating on Tuesday. The opening ceremony is on Tuesday evening.
So give me an example of a community where you're currently busy and what you're doing in that community.
Well, at the moment we have a community centre at Eastridge. They have about 50 odd children that come into the centre every day. The group leader there is Zenda, and they do gymnastics, they do artistic, they do a little bit of aerobics, and they've put this display together. So we're looking forward to seeing those little ones there. They're from the ages of 7 to 13.
Sure, so young little babies.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Barbara's been very modest. She's not telling you that she heads up the whole technical side of training all the legacy program from the Gym for Life. So we're actually involved in 21 community centres. And basically what Barbara does, she train the trainer.
Okay.
So she's been training all the leaders. I said she's modest.
She's not just a pretty face.
I mean, so she's been training all the leaders, and then they go out and the mentors, we call them mentors, and then the mentors go off and they go into the various, the 6 districts, as far as Atlantis, in Delft, every Mitchell's Plain, every centre, even Hart Bay. Yes, Ottery, and Hanover Park, and yes, Rufie, everything. So we in all the districts, and it's like from Barbara down to all the mentors, from the mentors down to the leaders, and then the leaders actually training the children, not only children, senior citizens, the whole range. So, you know, gym for all, particularly Barbara's discipline, it is for everyone, even disability. So
yes.
That's Barbara's favourite, favourite topic, disability.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a short ad break, and when we come back you can tell me a bit about this disability sector, because that's an interesting part I'd like to explore. Let's take a short ad break. See you now.
Hi, I'm JP Nordia from Cape Rugby TV. Join me every Wednesday at 9 p.m. for the latest on rugby in Western Province. We focus on club rugby with selected match highlights, great tries, top interviews, the latest logs, results and fixtures, fantastic competitions, social media and fan interaction. Join me and our panel of rugby experts as Cape Rugby TV finally brings local rugby to the masses. It's Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. right here on Cape Town TV.
Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. We're chatting gymnastics. I'm joined in studio by Barbara and Auntie Elizabeth. Barbara, before the ad break, you touched on gymnastics for the disabled. Tell me a bit about how all of that works. I'm quite intrigued about that.
Oh, I had the privilege of Elizabeth sending me to the symposium in Britain. We've had Hazel Coates. She's actually the president of disability in England. They have been having a partnership with us and training us and coaches to work with people with disabilities. It's amazing to, you know, the response and that you get from these gymnasts when you work with them. I've been working with children with no arms, and the joy on their faces, just being able to move. It's really been something wonderful. So we're getting Hazel to come back here, and we're going to have a festival called the Friendship Festival next year, where we're going to have all types of disabilities, like the hearing impaired, those in wheelchairs, our children with learning disabilities. So we're going to have like a competitive element with that. So yes, it's quite exciting.
Yeah, and that's something that needs to be unpacked, because there's a whole range of different, what's the word I'm looking for, qualifiers. If in other forms of disabled sport, they have what is called qualifiers. So you have people who grade the disabledness, for want of a better understanding.
Yes.
So you are a T1, a T2, and a T3, and people don't know about these kinds of things. What is the impact, do you think, that gymnastics has on those disabled people in their personal space?
It's just for them being able to do something for themselves, because we concentrate on their ability. You know, we forget about the disability. So what they are able to do, that's what we concentrate on.
I think what I've seen from the program and all that is also gives them so much self-confidence and self-esteem. And also, because we don't keep them separate, we involve them in the gymnastrada, we involve them with the abled as well. They do partnership with abled people in the wheelchairs, and, you know, like taking part in the World Gym for Life Challenge last year. It was they just part of and not set aside and involved in you know. So I think that is what they really get. They get just treated as normal human beings, and I think that is what is great about the program. And what is amazing with our program, with the disability program, is we've taken the coaches that working with abled children and taken away the fear of working with disabled children. And it is just amazing how it impacts. And I've seen this in clubs like Flares, and where they do winter displays and summer displays, and they're all together. And the parents become so supportive, and families and things. And we've had our club, in one of the clubs in the Western Cape now, shortlisted for the Jack Cheetham Disability Award. So they're finalists.
Well done.
So the 6th of November, Flares will be one of the finalists in this program. So they're getting recognition for also the work that they're doing.
But from a coaching point of view, is the training different, or is it kind of similar when you educate the coaches to go out and work with disabled persons?
It's very similar, because, like I said, we concentrate on their abilities. So it's not very difficult. We just need to take that fear away. And inclusive, that's what we want. Yeah. We want to include them as part of our program.
Elizabeth, tell me a bit about judging. I mean, are these guys part of a competition, or are they just recreational, other than the disabled folk? when you do judging, I mean, how does judging work? Because a lot of people are confused. Because you see numbers flashing up and down, 1,
Well,
9.
when you come to the gym games during the week and everything, yes, you'll be seeing the judges flashing their scorecards and things. It's very, well, it's like everything. You've got to put a lot of work into it. It doesn't just happen. And of course, there's all categories of judging, right from elementary judges right up to international brevet. And I must say, Alton, that we've got, of the best judges of the world, we've got Jannie van Vieren from Free State, who's number 1, is category 1 international judge.
Wow.
And there are only 10 in the world. So that is quite an honor. So he gets invited to the Commonwealth Games as reference judges and that. And this has been happening, you know, we've got that in quite a few of the disciplines. So judging is something that you have to work at. You have to know the sport. You have to, it's not something very easy. You have to actually be quite a mathematician. And yes, you have to practice, you have to watch videos, you have to attend courses, and you have to, you know, just really apply the theoretical knowledge into the practical. And it's quite a responsibility, because with judging and officiating, you can do so much damage for a coach, for a gymnast, if you're not on top of your game. So it's a great responsibility when they sit down in their chairs, because they can motivate, they can reward, they can demotivate. So it's, we put a, and they have to take an oath before the beginning of the competition that they will judge impartially. They have to stand up and they have to say the oath.
Really?
Yes.
That's
and
interesting.
no, it is a responsibility. And they're, you know, an oath that they will fairly cross and not favour their province and their gymnasts, etc., etc. And they got the strict, they get yellow cards and red cards and sanctioned if they have to be within a certain percentage margin with the score. It's actually, it's not a simple job.
I've never heard of any code of sport that enforces an oath. It's the first time ever that a code of sport has that kind of level.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, it's not only the athletes that stand up and have an oath. Yes, I'm very proud of my officials, and they're very, very good quality, and yeah, and very smart.
Sure, I think I need an ad break just to recover from that topic. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll chat more gymnastics. See you now. Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. I am still almost speechless that referees need to take an oath, but we'll park that idea because I think it's a great one that we need to explore at a different time. Barbara, you spoke a bit about the age. Tell me a bit about this Gym for Life for the age. I mean, people often think that when you reach a certain point in your life, you stop participation in sport. I disagree. And it seems by my thinking that you guys are on the same page as me.
Yes, it's such a pity that sometimes some of the people think that when they come to a certain age, they have to stop doing things. We started during our legacy program, we started classes in the morning for housewives to come in. And not only housewives, but the grannies started coming, and those clubs started growing. I think those clubs even grew more than what our children's clubs in the afternoon. And those ladies said it was amazing to them. It was something new. Some of them have never done any sport during their lives, but they started now. So yes, those clubs are growing, and they're still active.
Where can someone join in with any of these clubs? Name me a few.
They can go to their nearest community center, and they can find out if there's a group going. And I think in each of our districts we have at least 2 clubs happening.
Which is great, which brings me to the point of the link between yourselves and City of Cape Town. I mean, because you're using community venues. How does all of that fit in together?
Well, ultimately, the problem with, like most sports, there's a limitation with funding. And we've managed to make partnerships, and meaningful partnerships. So this partnership with the City of Cape Town has led to the opportunity that we can use the venues when we do the training. And then the programs gets implemented. And it's really is an excellent program, and I must say the city has been, over not only the past few years, but over the past 20 years, built this relationship with gymnastics. And you know, we are the closest to physical education and getting people active, and the recreation, the play groups and the play leaders and all that. But our main role is educating and training. And of course the partnership that we have with the department, with DCAS, as well with the mod centres now, is an excellent partnership, where we're also training these young mod centre leaders, and then they're going out and keeping the children in schools and keeping active programs going. So partnerships really work well for us. We would do this not only in the Western Cape, but throughout the country, in all the various provinces. So we linked up with the MPP program, and we were one of the first of the 5 sports that started the MPP program nationally. And it was an excellent program, and now we're doing it with the schools program. So we look how to, where the partnership works, where we got the same values and everything. And I think we always do it for the right reasons. We hear what the principles are, getting into the rural areas, getting the woman ratio up, developing girls, developing women. Our sport is, you know, high percentage of girls, and disability, as you can see, and the transformation, of course.
Yep.
We have developed so many young people that have just gone through the ranks and are travelling internationally, have started off, and they now the role models for the next generation.
Absolutely, and you think about gymnastics as being an early specialization sport, that you start at 4 or 5 to develop to be an Olympic gymnast at 13, 14 in some international cases. Ladies, it's been fun. We've got lots to talk about, but sadly we're running out of time. Let's see this little ad clip that we put together to see what the event is all about. Let's take a look and see what's coming up. See you now.
Because